Hey guys, it's me, Ben J. Pierce, and I'm here to show you something pretty cool. I found this picture of me when I was about 3 years old. This is around the time I started becoming my own worst bully. Yeah, little guy.
Ben, thank you so much for being here.
I'm here. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm such a huge fan of yours. Guys, I love Ben's videos. They're so funny and empowering, and I love your fresh approach to everything that you do. You're just so witty.
Thank you. Please continue. I'm enjoying this.
Tell me more. Tell me more. So I do want to talk about being your own worst bully.
Yes.
So can you elaborate a little bit about that? Because I think a lot of your fans and our viewers out there are struggling with this. We always talk about dealing with haters and dealing with bullies,
Definitely.
but sometimes it's really hard to accept yourself.
It's hard when you're really hard on yourself because you see yourself 24/7. You see your highs, you see your lows. Something that's really helped me recently in overcoming becoming my own worst bully is just realizing that like you should never compare your behind the scenes to somebody's highlights reel. And I think that's where that kind of comes from because you see yourself in your worst moments, so you judge yourself for your worst moments. And it's just one of those weird things that I think everybody kind of has a little bit of, some people more than others, where you just like are really hard on yourself and you put on really big expectations for who you think people should see you as, instead of just really reaching in and saying, this is who I actually am and this is who I want to be and this is what makes me happy.
When did you start wearing makeup?
The first time I think I remember encountering makeup was when I was younger. My two older sisters liked to play dress up with me and my brother. My brother hated it, but I loved it. I was like secretly like really into it. So when I turned 11, I started acting. The conversation I had with my agent was like, you should probably start wearing like concealer because I had breakouts like every kid does. So I started wearing it and then realized I really liked it and it helped me feel confident. So I started like sneaking away like my sisters and my mom's makeup and just kind of like experimenting in that world.
So as a female, growing up and experimenting with makeup was normal for me, right? And now we've gotten to a point in time where I think it's more accepted for men to do it as well.
Right.
But at the time that you were experimenting, were you anxious? Were you scared?
Definitely. I mean, I think that anybody that's like assigned male at birth kind of has like an inner toxic masculinity almost. You don't know how people are going to react to what you're doing, and I think that was where the fear came from of experimenting with makeup. I would like lock my door so no one would know, and it was just like concealer and foundation. I was so terrified people would see it. So I still to this day kind of like panic when I put on like eyeshadow about like what are people gonna say, but it definitely has gotten better.
Good.
And it gets easier the longer you do it.
Were you actually bullied by anybody at school or by your friends? Did anybody make you feel like you needed to hide who you were?
Definitely. I mean, not in like a severe, like horrible way, but there were definitely moments where like, particularly there was a week I had that was just really rough. Like I was wearing makeup that week and I was just expressing myself and people were just being really rude about it. And I remember at the end of the week, one of my friends told me like, well, maybe if you just tried to be more masculine, that would like fix it. And I got so angry and I ended up making a song about it, a music video, and that was kind of therapeutic to me too, of like kind of overcoming that step in my life. So it's definitely been a growing process for me.
When did you become confident in yourself to say, all right, if I am gonna wear makeup, I'm excited about this, it's something I like to do? Was there a defining moment that made you feel the most confident, or was it just an overtime thing?
I think everybody wants you to say that like you just decided one day I was going to do it and it was fine, but the truth of the matter is it is a progress. Like it is something you have to work towards. I'm even to this day working towards it. It's not an overnight thing. It's definitely an overnight epiphany that you can have of realizing that, you know what, I'm going to do what I want and not worry about it. But I always tell people, I'm like, it's okay to take your time getting comfortable with something. You never have to just have an overnight success story and be like, well, now I'm confident and I love myself. Like confidence is not a destination, it's a journey.
So what has made you feel most confident in how you look?
It's just switching the perspective of how you look at yourself and not saying, I'm gonna go out today and make a bunch of people think I look good. It's, I'm gonna go out today and look good. The truth is, it's the cheesiest thing in the world, but you really do have to be your own best friend. And if you wouldn't say something to your best friend, you wouldn't say it to yourself.
Exactly.
And that's another one of those like cheesy quotes that really does help, of realizing like I would never look in the mirror or look at a friend and be like, wow, you're breaking out. Wow, you're looking chubby today. Wow, you're this. Like, and that's definitely something that helped me get confident. Also, it's surrounding yourself with good people.
Yep.
If you realize that the people you're surrounding yourself with are being really negative towards you or even negative towards themselves, sometimes you have to really stop and think about how healthy that is.
And finally, what would you tell your 11 or 10-year-old self?
Ooh, I would say, this is a metaphor, but I'll explain, but I would say nobody cares about the pimple on your cheek. And the truth of that is I was so, at that time specifically, really stressed about how people perceived me that I was like oh man, I'm gonna leave with this pimple on my cheek and everyone's gonna notice it and they're gonna judge me and they're gonna, they're gonna have such harsh and negative opinions of it. But then I realized, how many times in life have you had a pimple or something negative about yourself and you've like worried about it and stressed about it, versus how many times you've seen that in someone else and cared or gave it a second thought?
Everybody else is going through it too, but
Exactly.
everyone wants to put on a poker face and act like they're too cool for
We're
school.
all faking it. That's the truth. That
Exactly.
everyone's faking it. Nobody cares. Like, just be you. Like, that's the biggest thing I would say, is that nobody really cares.
Ben, I loved your advice. You're so smart, and like I said, so witty. I love your videos. Can you please tell us where to find you and what you're working on next?
You can find me at Ben J. Pierce on everything, or at Kid POV on YouTube. If you search Ben J. Pierce, you'll find me. And what I'm working on right now is I'm working on some cool projects. I'm hoping to travel a lot more and meet more people and do stuff. I'll be able to announce those on my Twitter, so if you follow me, you'll see all the cool stuff happening.
And as always, comment in the comment section below. Let us know your favorite part of this interview, who you want to see on the next episode, and what topics you want us to cover. I read every comment and I listen to you guys, and I would love to do more and get you guys more involved. So as always, you can find me at Kirby Johnson on everything except for Snapchat, where I'm Baby Wody. Somebody please give me Kirby Johnson. I know that you have my name. I need it. I need it. Ben, thank you again.
Thank you so
You're
much
the
for
best.
having me. This
Of
has been
course.
so fun.
All right, guys, we'll see you next time. Adios.